Right. Good morning once again. Welcome to the review segment of the show. My name is ALORMASOR. As usual, I sit in for Kwame Osudan. So, a reminder that we are. Kwame or shoe. Right. A reminder that we are live from our studios at number 48 Swanika Street in Abelemkpe. Also in 46 other African countries via satellite. We are omnipresent. You can find us on the internet at facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Also, youtube.com/Pan-African Television. Make sure you are a participant in today's discussion. Let me know what your thoughts are. Send me your messages via text. The text line will be displayed on the screen. Make sure you leave a message in relation to the topics that we have tabled for this morning's conversation. Also, you can join our Facebook stream, which will commence pretty shortly, and make sure you leave your comments there. I'll read them in the course of the show. These are the topics that we have found conversation worthy this morning. Nigeria, we know for a fact that on 1st August, there's going to be a protest over there. The United States, the United Kingdom, Canada have issued travel warnings to their citizens in Nigeria over the protest, which is to come off on August 1, 2024. CTAC strike enters 7th week amidst salary freeze and unsigned agreements. Ochehene rubbishes Agyapa document. Ochehene rubbishes Agyapa document. And then finally, Ministry of Health to recruit 15,200 nurses. Ministry of Health to recruit 15,200 nurses. And so these are the topics that we have found conversation worthy, like earlier stated, this morning on Good Morning Africa. Wherever you are joining us from, I want to thank you so much. Make sure you stay with us through it all, and I'll be more than pleased to receive your messages, your contributions on the show. I've been joined by Yerimambo Moses Ambing, who is a former national organizer of the Conventions People's Party. Yerimambo, my brother, always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, bro.
Despite the fact that I always have to fight you to
come
here.
on.
I trust you're fine.
Yeah, well, I'm doing well. It has not been easy. I was in the north throughout last week. And I must tell you, you have a lot of followers in the north. By east, northeast, northern region.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
You'll be walking, somebody mentions your name. Where? It says Pan-African TV. You'll be so amazed. Yes.
Watch Pan-African TV.
And I met one A.U. Farouk. There are two. One
A.U. Farouk.
North.
Yeah. A.U.
If I even gave me a ride.
Yeah.
Why? Because he has been seeing me on Pan-African
TV. That's true.
You understand?
That's
so
true.
A good morning to all my northern brothers who have been watching Pan-African TV. Good morning to all comrades across the country. So bless. We are inching slowly to our Congress.
When is it?
24th of August,
okay.
2024. It's a decentralized Congress.
That's some 25 days more.
Yes, it's a decentralized Congress, which means that all regional capitals will be hosting their delegates and will vote accordingly.
How many delegates in all?
In all, we have over 2,800. That is all 9 representatives from each constituency, plus the founding fathers, the council of elders, tertiary branches. In all addition, when you put it together, you have 2,800. And to Rhoda, I don't think you're not a delegate. You are still not a delegate.
I'm not representative.
In fact, a very special good morning to senior comrade Rhoda Lynn. In fact, he's one of my role models in the CPP. And as far as we are concerned, she's still one of us. She cannot dodge it. And to Rhoda, a special good morning to you today.
Right. Actually, good morning. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
How is the Alliance for Revolutionary
we're
Change?
doing well.
A campaign launch pretty shortly?
Yeah, pretty shortly. It's coming on pretty shortly. And but so far, so good. Yes, people are beginning to understand the need for an independent presidential candidate.
Right,
They're beginning to understand. We are talking to people, grassroots people. And all we are saying is that if we want change, true change starts with an individual. and then we can manage the rest of the story, yes. Because we don't think that NDC and MPP can really help at the moment, the way it is. This kind of, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know, so if you hand the baton over to the other person, it's going to be the same old story. You know, save me and I'll save you later. But for us, we're going to be the hatchet people. Both ways we'll cut.
We will cut.
Right. A special good morning to our northern viewers, the Upper East, Upper West, the northern region, the Savannah region, the Northeast region. I know this is something we know ourselves too. That we have a bulk of our viewers. Yes.
You have have you been there?
I've been there.
It used to be TV Africa until Pan Africa.
Yeah, I've been there, and then I see. I mean, the love that the people up north show to Pan African television.
The love is too great.
We really do appreciate it. Yeah.
In fact.
Yeah.
Good.
Right. So we'll straight away head into our first topic for conversation. The Member of Parliament for the Sisala West constituency, Honorable Sukbaru, he's around. He's going to be joining us pretty shortly. But we'll start our conversation. Today is 30th, tomorrow Wednesday 31st. On Thursday, the 1st of August, there's going to be a protest in Nigeria over, cost of living, very high cost of living in the country. The youth are not happy at all about the current economic situation over there. But countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, they have issued travel warnings to their citizens who are planning to travel to Nigeria, especially around this time. And I mean, to some extent, I can understand why. When we go back to the End SARS protests, and the awkward turn it took, and the people who were killed in that protest and how it was. Nigerians do not protest all the time, but whenever they do, the consequences are grave. And so I very much understand when the likes of the United States, Canada, and then of course the United Kingdom advise their citizens to take precautionary measures or advise them against even traveling there in the first place, especially when there is a protest. And it appears that the Nigerian security, their police force, they seem to be high-handed, especially when it comes to these things. And so I very much understand why they would issue travel warnings to their citizens. But then again also, it appears there's a wave of protests on the African continent. We've seen it in Kenya and the sort of reforms that it is bringing. I know Ghana, I think I understand there's one coming here in Ghana too. I don't know when it's going to be. I know the police have stopped it. They are saying the numbers are too many. Yes, and they are trying to stop it. Yeah. But let's head to Nigeria. Our neighbors, not directly, but if you look at those of us, those countries who are under colonial rule, and the closest to us, of course, we do know is Nigeria. We share many things in common. We trade amongst ourselves. There are a lot of Nigerians here in Ghana. There are a lot of Ghanaians in Nigeria. And so we know that this protest is something that is of significance to the people of Ghana as it is to the people of Nigeria. You remember?
Yes, sir. Well, once again, a very good morning to your cherished viewers. Very good morning to my co-panelists, my comrade, senior comrade, Rodalyn. Once a comrade, always a comrade.
Yeah.
She can dodge that. Yes.
No matter how it rains.
And she's deeply rooted in a
It
tradition.
should never change its
Look,
course.
she's deeply rooted in a tradition, and she's not one of those paperweights that she can just fly away. No. She's deeply rooted in the Nkrumah's tradition. She cannot leave us. So she's part of us. So, Auntie Rodalyn, good morning. Yes. So Nigeria situation. Yes. In fact, we all saw this coming. Since last year, that wind of change that is blowing through the African continent, we knew that at a point in time, the youths in these countries will rise. And it is not naturally they are doing. Bless. In fact, as we all know, in our current economic hardship we are all facing in this country, Maza, it is not easy. And they also taking a cue from what happened in Kenya. And they've realized that when you protest and there's agitation and it is that thick, it yields results. Even our own Ghanaian situation, when they wanted to sell these hotels, when the labor unions came together, they really do this. When they came together, they all signed signatories that, look, we are not going to work, we are going to protest. Within a week, they gave up. All those who wanted to, see to this fictitious deal, they gave up. So people have seen that there is always power and might, and when you protest or you agitate. So that is the direction we'll go. And I believe that, yes, that the Nigerian youth are right. They are now quoting food inflation over 40% now. Yeah. There's over 34% in general inflation. And I was just saying to myself, hey, 34 namusui. We went above 50. We went above 50. But still, we were able to, But that doesn't mean that the Ghanaian, the ordinary Ghanaian or the youth, the youthful Ghanaian is a coward. No. And I believe that, look, as time goes on, people are beginning to become so enlightened to see that, look, we give power to you to deliver. You cannot come and not deliver and try to equalize and say that I was better than party A or party B. No. And in fact, since 92, we've seen that those we've given opportunity to, the NDC, the NPP, they've woefully failed us. And it is clear for everybody to see. So for us, it has always been an issue of the value is the same. The value will always be the same. That is why we call them the Dukadaya. They are the same. So yes, the Nigerian youth are within their rights. We are hoping this protest becomes a peaceful one. It should put government on their toes for them to deliver to the good people of Nigeria. And yes, these countries are right to issue this kind of warnings to their citizens. That yes, Nigeria, they have population, the numbers are thick. And if Nigerians want to protest, you will see real protest. You see millions of people on the street. And when that happens, somebody, a friend in Nigeria was telling me that the Nigeria police force, they are trigger happy. Yeah. That sometimes when they see the numbers and they feel that they cannot control, they will start firing. So they are also prepared for them. So if the youth of Nigeria are talking this way, you should know that, look, they are well ready for this protest. But I believe that the Nigerian government should still put in the needed security to ensure that they have a peaceful protest. It is democracy. When we are not happy, or when you feel that the economy is very hard, you can go out and protest. It's within your fundamental human rights. So for me, I believe it's a good step. We'll also take a cue from that with the Ghanaian youth. Yes, we'll take a cue from that and ensure that we'll put this government on their toes. So for me, let's see what happens. It's just, I think, 2 days away.
Yes.
Yes. So we are just hoping we'll have a peaceful protest. We don't want to hear bloodshed or, people being killed or people being injured anywhere. We are just hoping that the good people of Nigeria will just do a very peaceful protest so that ensure that the Tinubu government will sit up and deliver. Yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Irimambo. Let me say a hearty good morning to the lawmaker for the Sisala West constituency, Honorable Adam Sukbaro. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you're very well.
By the grace of God, I'm doing well.
Right.
Right. Good morning, Auntie.
Yes.
Right, Auntie Ruda, Nigeria.
Good morning to all Ghanaians, especially my Alliance for Revolutionary Changes who are busy working to save this country from the two people that have given us headaches.
Sure.
Nigeria, our closest allies when it comes to our economy, political issues, and all that. It's not surprising for the US and Canada to say what they're saying, to advise their citizens not to travel to Nigeria or to be cautious when they're going. I experienced a little bit of it. It wasn't even during a protest. But if you've ever been to Nigeria, if you've traveled within Nigeria, you will know that it's not an easy place to be. Just going for a funeral, I had to be escorted by the military to wherever I went, and I didn't think it was a very nice experience. But we will have to ask ourselves, why are we getting these protests? They are not just protesting for protesting's sake, it's because of the bad governance that we are getting. Sure. And most of the times, when people want to protest, governments will always try, as much as possible, to stop them by using the military or the security agencies, which for me is really bad. It's not the best way to go. Protest is about numbers. It's not one person coming to make any difference. You have lots of people coming in, and that gives the message some weight that there's something fundamentally wrong with the governance structure or with leadership or with whatever they are protesting against. Ghana is not any different from what's happening in Nigeria. In fact, it's across the African continent that we have unemployment, times are hard, food insecurity, and so many other things. So Nigerians wanting to protest is their constitutional right, and they must be granted that. As one of their senators will say, nobody likes injustice. When you are happy, allow other people to be happy. And most of the time, it's because of the lack of good jobs for the teeming, unemployed youth. And why do they have it? In Africa, or in West Africa, elections are won by money. So you buy yourself the presidency because you go around dishing out money like nobody's business. You should see Nigerian elections, the types of things that are used to buy votes. So at the end of the election, you get yourself into office, and then you now start to recoup what you have lost. And by recouping what you've lost, you lose sight of development for the country. You lose sight of creating jobs for those very people that you promised that you were going to give jobs to. So when these things don't come, definitely the youth are going to be really, really mad, and they will start agitating. And that is what is happening across Africa. It's interesting to read that after the youth have called out a protest, government is now putting in place a youth policy, a youth ministry, a youth this and that. Where were they? Were they not thinking of all these things? And you see that the unfortunate thing is that it's not only the youth that are suffering. Older people, the older generation are also suffering, in the sense that when you come on retirement and you cannot look after yourself because your currency has depreciated so much that ordinary food for you to eat, you can't afford it. Medications, you can't afford it. Some people are even caretakers of family members. Even in retirement, they can't also do it. So it's not just youth, it's everywhere. Everyone is affected by the bad governance of our various countries. It goes for Ghana. We've had haircuts. We've had all manner of things. But when we want to demonstrate or to go on the streets, we are always stopped. Now, that is wrong. I keep saying if you ask people to keep their anger within them, one day when it explodes, nobody will be able to stop them. And that is what we have to learn as Africans. We should give people the free will to demonstrate. What happened in Kenya was such that, yes, there were deaths, but look at the fundamental changes that came. You understand? So going to demonstrate is a constitutional right that must be allowed for people to do. And I'm hoping that with this demonstration, if it's allowed to go on, they will do it peacefully and changes will definitely come. Just as I'm expecting that when we are allowed to go on the streets, we will bring up some changes, because we do need those changes. Why should people be stopped from, say, venting their anger at people who are leading them, people they've elected into office? So they should be allowed. I wish them well, and I really wish that they will send a signal to other leaders to sit up and do the right things. Yeah, I really hope
right.
so.
Thank you very much, Madam Rodelyn Ayana. Honorable Sukbaro, I'm sure you've been observing keenly happenings in Nigeria, our very own neighbors, and I know for a fact too that the opposition, NDC, you've been heavily involved in protests, especially over the past few months here in Ghana. People say that what's happening in Nigeria finds expression in our jurisdiction as well. I know this is something you agree with.
Yeah, first of all, bless. Let me use your platform to say good morning to my co-panels, and also to say good morning to your cherished viewers, most especially the good people of Sisala West. What is currently happening in Nigeria, like you said, is the same thing that is happening in Ghana. You know, Ghana and Nigeria, we share so many similarities. If I can even say proudly, what is happening in Ghana is worse than Nigeria. And then, you know, for the people of Nigeria, especially the youth, trying to express their right, that is to demonstrate against some bad governance in their country, I think it is in the right directions, because it is within their right. We elect leaders to, to ensure that things are normalized, if not to create best environment for the youth and any other person to live. But if you elect leaders to solve your problems for you, and the leaders becomes part of the problems, if not even creating, they seems to even be the problem. I think the best to express your dissatisfaction is to, engage in peaceful demonstration. And so I think it is in the right direction. We've seen it in Kenya, but what I can say is that the government of Nigeria should not see it as something like a war, so that it is not a fight between government and that of the people of Nigeria. It is the same people the government is leading. It is the people that are seeing that there are some things that are happening in their country that they are not happy with it. Therefore, they want to march, they want to protest and register their pledge. Probably, I'm sure they've used other means in terms of communicating, like you, the media is doing in Ghana, trying to express their dissatisfaction about how government is handling issues in Nigeria. And so if government is not heeding to their call, and I think that this is also part of their right, one of the means they can use to express, why not? I think it is their right for government to protect them as they go out there to express their dissatisfaction against same government. I don't think government should be trying to, send threats. It is not the best, because nobody can estimate the power of the people you lead. In fact, when it started in Kenya, people probably thought it's one of those demonstration, but in the end we saw that the people were able to push the government, the president, to extend that he had no option than to even dissolve his entire cabinet. And so some other demands have been pressed upon. We've seen that the president has started forming a new cabinet. Even to where I am excited is the fact that the government is even bringing the major opposition leader, some people that were part of his campaign, is bringing them up. But it means that cabinet is going to represent the entire nation, because we have two biggest political parties in Kenya. And so, if for nothing at all, the other people that are having different, view about the current government, if he's able to take people from all quarters of the country, I think they will be best represented, and probably some decision that moving forward will go in favor of the people of Kenya. And so I expect the Nigerian president should ensure that whilst the people go out there to protest, their life must be protected. We should not see any drop of blood, because as within their right, they are only exercising their constitutional right as people that the president represents. That they are saying enough is enough. Some decisions that were taken in the past, they are calling on you to create jobs for the youth. They are calling on the government to ensure that businesses, strive. They are calling on government to ensure that the aged are being protected. They are calling on government to ensure that, decent jobs are created for the youth. That is all what they are asking government to do. And so I think it is within their right for them to demand for these fundamental issues, because we are all leaders, and once you are elected, on my way coming here, I've received a couple of calls. You just have to find a way of trying to address them, because if you say no to them, I mean, who else you expect them to turn to? Because that is why you are there for them. They elected you. We don't elect leaders to be rather serving the leaders. We elect leaders to be serving us. And so when we elect you to serve us, and you decided to take an oath that, yes, I am taking this oath to ensure that I'm going to serve you, you must do it as it is stated in the Constitution, but not the other way. And so, but what I've realized, it is not only in Nigeria, like I said, in Ghana. Several other things happened in the past that people used to be afraid of demonstration. But what happened in Kenya is actually, awakening a lot of people in our continent, Africa, that as time goes on, we should expect many of such demonstration in Ghana. I think from now till general election, where there should be a serious demonstration on the 7th of December. When I say a serious demonstration, a civil one for that matter, that will send a signal to the people, that will send a signal to those who are currently in charge, that the people of this country are really angry, and they are going to demonstrate on 7th December to show them the exit. There are two ways of demonstration. One, it is to exercise your civil right, that is to the voting, because we have just few months to the elections. Two, it is to stage a memorial demonstration to register our displeasure. But I think that we have the two options from now to December, and I would not be surprised that we will see both happening. Some will be on the streets demonstrating, waiting to clamors on the 7th of December to show this government the exit, because we have been taken for granted for far too long. A lot of issues happened in Ghana, especially for the past 80 years. Sometimes you ask yourself whether this country really belongs to all of us. People took decision in the past, regardless how people of this country actually feel. I am happy, like my brother said, that some 3 weeks ago, when government was engaged in sales of some hotels that belonging to Senate, and the people of this country, everybody was saying, please, it is not a good thing, don't do it. Especially that when you are selling it to one of your own, people who sit in cabinet and take decisions. Many of these decisions are taken at cabinet. Of course, it's a state agency that has a board, but the board is being supervised by a minister, and that minister is part of cabinet. And so whatever major decision that has to be taken in that sector must be discussed at cabinet. And so when you have one of the persons who is part of cabinet that takes decisions, says that he's the one behind buying of that, and everybody in the country says no, it is not a good deal, don't do it. And they didn't listen to people. They still went ahead thinking that as usual, because Ghanaians, after all, Omar Kasasa, they will just speak 2 days and then they are going to sleep. And then when the organized labor, I am very, very happy, when the organized labor sent a strong warning, it was just a warning, starting withdrawing all their services. It was midnight. I don't know what those that issued those press statements, they went home with the letterhead, because I saw those statements started coming up. I'm talking about Senate. When they took the U-turn, you realize the letter came out in the midnight that saying that they have stopped sales of the hotel. So that was a good sign. A lot happened in Ghana. Look at the days of e-levy. A lot of other things happen. Government, when people complain, they would not mind you, they'll still go ahead to do whatever they want to do. I am saying that Ghanaians are discerning. We are the most peaceful people in the continent that you can find, but we are patient people. And that when somebody is patient, someone is peaceful, doesn't mean that you can take the person for granted. When that person strikes, nobody else can stop the person. And so I think they've pushed the people of this country to that. They've dared them in several, you know. Yeah, so Nigeria and Ghana, the similarity. I am just right. The similarity.
I'll add up.
The similarity. Yes. We're talking about Nigeria.
We would have all gotten 0 if we were being marked, because our topic is
it's in relation to Nigeria.
It's in relation to Nigeria.
But then, of course, it finds expression. Yes,
that is right.
Exactly.
A lot of expression.
In Ghana, Ghana and Nigeria we share some.
We are the same.
If you go to northern part of Nigeria, if you go to northern part of Ghana, don't we eat Tozafi? You understand?
Yes.
We eat jollof. They have Nigerian jollof. Our music and Nigerian music, everything is the same. So I am saying that our leadership style, especially this current government, is the same as what is happening.
The fear within the American and the Canadian government situation is to do with jihadist activities, terrorism. You understand?
And these activities have been rife over time.
And these activities are the ones that are driving their belief in that.
No, so what normally, I mean, how do I put it? When you talk about the jihadis, when you talk about the Islamists, so it is about bad leadership.
It has nothing it has nothing to do with bad leadership.
Please, Mommy, I'm coming. It has something to do with bad leadership. The devil finds
work for idle hands.
Work for idle hands. So if jobs are created for the youth, where would the jihadi get the youth to recruit them to go out there to do what they are doing? And so it has to do with leadership.
But for some of them, it's indoctrination.
No. It's indoctrination.
Listen, apart from the economic side,
please. Let me tell you something.
And also kidnappings. That there will be infiltration.
But I also think it still boils down to leadership.
And it's my time.
It is my time.
Let me land.
Yes, let me land.
Let me land. It still has to do with leadership.
Well.
So you can have a particular belief that you want people to believe in what you are saying. When people are busy going about their businesses, people are busy going about their jobs, you cannot get an idle person to tell the person that please take this amount of money. This is what I am engaged on. Let's go and do this. Once the person is engaged in doing something decent, the person will not even mind you. But if I am sitting looking for, I turn left, there's no food. Right, there's no food. I don't have anybody to look up to. Then you walk to me and say to me that this is what you believe in. We must fight ABCD. I have no option than to believe in whatever you are telling me. After all, you are going to give me something to be able to buy food. And I am saying that it has to do with leadership. If government of Nigeria creates jobs for the youth, by the end of the day, this jihadist, this thing we are seeing will reduce, because where are they going to get the people to recruit? Because how come that there are people who are sponsoring that? You think they do it for nothing? They give them big monies.
Some are indoctrinated.
When you say, so how many of them? And I'm saying, of course, I understand indoctrination. Yes,
enough,
but you see,
the northern youth do not even want to be part of this demonstration
of
Nigeria.
Yeah.
You understand? The northern youth of Nigeria do not. That's the big question, because it's a federal state. So let's say that if we're going by his analysis, then it means that the northern youth are okay.
Is it only northern youth?
No.
Is it only northern youth that are being recruited to engage in
I'm only
all
saying,
kind of illicit acts? This is not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about. I'm not saying we are not. The conversation is not limited to only the jihadists. And if you go back, it is not only for all you know, the people who are engaged in this jihadists. There are other people even from southern part of Nigeria.
No, I'm not talking about the jihadists right now. I'm only trying to say by your analysis that it is the bad governance, blah, blah, that makes people want to do this. I'm saying that the protest that is coming on in Nigeria...
It's happening in Nigeria?
Yes, it's happening. That's coming on in Nigeria first.
So once it's happening in Nigeria, regardless whichever state is happening, it's Nigeria.
Some states do not do that.
There are some other people who are also not interested.
We're not interested.
Whenever these demonstrations
is not like us.
Shops are looted.
Yes,
you understand?
But
I still think that it has got to do with a leadership crisis.
And the leadership within a federal state is from state to state. some states will tell you that our senator is doing well or our governor is doing well.
Yes.
You understand?
But then at the end of the
generally
day, people have been put at the helm of affairs to take decisions.
Generally, it's
and the person is,
and all of us know that
demonstrating against.
And all of us know that Nigeria has a security crisis.
Who is the leader of
Nigeria?
It's the president of Nigeria. So, if like my auntie is saying that it is a federal state, yes, it is a federal state. But we have a president, one president, all of them report to the president. There are some federal decisions that when they
it's bounded to us.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
And so we are talking about issues about economy. We don't have maybe issues about economy. You're talking about how do you call it? Inflation.
Yes.
Inflation affects everybody.
It affects everybody. And so, regardless wherever you are, if your government is doing
crisis
well,
there.
yes,
in certain 40%.
So, regardless whether you are in whatever state, it affects you. That's what we are talking about. These affect.
When you go out on your demonstration, the economy is so bad that you would expect that.
So
if you take that opportunity to go out.
So if we take saying that when these things happen, they are within some elements they will use to misbehave, and that is what the US and the Canadians are concerned about.
I'm looking at the topic. I'm not looking at the generalization that you are coming
to misbehave.
Yes, what you were saying was generalization. I'm looking at the topic.
Yes, people take advantage of the fact that the people take advantage of everything. Yes, in this country, not only in this country, in the world. Even in football, in music, in everything, people take advantage. Even here, it's just that our brothers in Nigeria they overdo things. Let me tell you something. I feel like passionate. You have the shop, they'll lose the shop. Yes, I know that one. There are people who are also there. They've been yearning for demonstration so that they use it to do that test. Precisely. This morning, what happened here? But for the fact that I got this opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to send my greetings to my people in Sisala West. So I take advantage of the fact that I'm on national set. I said, let me use this opportunity to say a very good big morning to the people of Sisala West. So I am taking advantage of the platform, which I have done. So after that, so I'm just trying to tell you that regardless whatever, once it is demonstration, people will take advantage. People will take advantage to do other tests. Our robbers will also take advantage of the fact that people are gathering. They will come there to do pickpocketing.
That is why. That is why we, as revolutionary people, we are saying that the mindset has to change. If you are going for demonstration because of economic issues, the mindset must have a mindset change. So if we are discussing, and that mindset change comes to the discipline that goes with it.
But we also want the situation where
there are 4 topics that we have to discuss within a certain time, so we don't delve into other things. It's like writing an exam. You write it, you leave it, and you go to the next question.
It's everything for us.
The show, he said it's a very important topic.
Yes, it's everything. So that we the African youth is everything for us.
To moderate so that we can. Because there are other issues we have to discuss.
I agree. Because but then again, what has occasioned the demonstration in the first place?
It's bad governance.
It's a leadership crisis. And of course, Nigeria's insecurity issue is known to us.
And it's affecting us because
the kidnapping of the Chibok girls, a lot of kidnaps and everything has been done. So
I'm okay with that. But you see, for NDC right now, you know, he's.
Madam is now moderating the show.
No, he's coming to NDC.
I'm coming to NDC because NDC right now he's telling us all the ills of the MPP.
But they are the same.
They're the same.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed to our next topic. We'll proceed to our next topic.
That was what I was getting.
Please share your thoughts with me. We are live on Facebook at facebook.com/Pan African Television. Also on youtube.com/Pan African Television. Let's proceed to our next topic. We have been talking about the fact that for a long time, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 batches of nurses, they've been sitting home. Government has come out with a release. I think it was last week that one of our guests here on the show predicted that a time will come somewhere in the dying embers of this year, heading into the general elections. The government will come and tell us that, it wants to post. I think you did. I think you spoke about this somewhere last week. You predicted this last week that this is what both the NDC and then the NPP do actually. So government has come to say that the Ministry of Health wishes to inform the general public that the Ministry of Finance has issued financial clearance to recruit 15,200 nurses and midwives. Recruitment will commence on Monday, 5th August 2024 at 12 noon. Qualified applicants are requested to formally apply on the Ministry of Health online application portal by logging in onto it was given and follow the instructions to select preferred agency under the ministry. Deadline for submission of application is Friday, 23rd August 2024 at 6 p.m. The public is kindly informed that the recruitment process is very transparent. Applicants should therefore be aware of any person who may approach them on the pretext of assisting them for recruitment at a fee. The ministry therefore advises all applicants not to make any payment for this process. Whoever pays money does so at his or her own risk. We count on your usual cooperation. Alhaji Hafiz Adam, Chief Director for the Minister. All right. So this is the press statement issued out by the Ministry of Health. But I'm sure if you look at the number of nurses who have graduated and have been home over the past 4 years, I think you look at the numbers and you look at the number that the Ghana Health Ministry, the Ministry of Health, I beg your pardon, is recruiting. That is a far cry of the number of nurses that are sitting home right now. So ostensibly, there's still a huge backlog of nurses who are to be recruited into the various health services. I'm starting with you, Madam Rodlin, and Ayana, you predicted this, I think somewhere last week, that this was going to happen, and all of these are just, votes.
Yeah, they're just voting.
Yeah.
They are voting tools.
Yeah.
So they start, yes, they are voting tools. You start with recruiting policemen, recruiting military people, just towards elections, to give them the feeling that I gave you a job.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And so now we have nurses. It's the same thing. You understand? Because if a government can go into classrooms of senior high schools and tell them that I brought you free education and therefore you have to vote for me, and even bust them to go and register, it just tells you the level of desperation that is within this MPP government wanting to break the 8, which definitely is not going to come on. Nurses, I mean, we found so many nurses leaving this country. So many. And it's so sad to think that we have sat down as a country for the experienced nurses to leave this country, and we are now bringing in fresh new faces. I mean, what government does that? We started off by exporting nurses to Bahamas, I think, or is it? Yeah, we exported nurses to Bahamas. Why couldn't we have done the same for those teeming ones that left? At least they would go and acquire knowledge and come back. But in this case, we made them to go by the individual efforts. Definitely they are not coming back. You should see them on TikTok, happy and jumping, and telling us about how life is so good for them out there. So you ask yourself, why do we do this to ourselves? Is it just always about winning an election? So every time it's getting to an election time, then we start, pack the security agencies with our people. And who tells them? Who even tells them that those people they are packing are their people? It's not the right way to go. We are going to really suffer for this. You open the avenue from August 3rd, I think, to 23rd or so. And you expect that everybody will be able to register. How about those in the rural areas? How about those who don't have access to the websites? How about them? Have they made provision for people to be able to hand it in, maybe at the district office or whatever, if they cannot get onto the website to apply? This is one thing I'd like to ask the Ministry of Health, whether they have made provision for those who be in the rural areas where electricity and even sometimes network is so erratic. Will they be able to also hand over the hard copies to the district offices? Nursing training has become a big issue because somehow it is one of those universal occupations that people have taken advantage of. You can be a nurse anywhere. It's the same language, practically. So we have a lot of private nursing schools and all that. And I keep wondering if we are really getting the best out of all these nursing training institutions. Because everybody wants to go and do nursing. I'm not saying that nurses do not have the requisite qualifications, but it just so happens that when people don't get the opportunity sometimes to go to the university, all they think of is, I want to go to nursing school, I want to go to teacher training school. Is that what we really want? And we are intending to phase out the certification and the diploma holders of nurses. So it means that everybody now has to be a degree holder. Is it going to serve us well? I've had an opportunity where a cousin of mine was sick at Kolebu, and a graduate nurse didn't see the need for her to help her on the bed with a bedpan. That was a job for those in the green, she told me. So are we going to say that all nurses are going to be graduate nurses? Because the government is intending to phase out the diploma nurses. So we have a problem. And sometimes as leaders, it's not everything that, we should follow the West. If the West decides to go and do upgrade their nursing skills and things, or their nursing certification, we should also think of our lots, because we have what do you call them? Those small clinics that we have.
The CHIPS compounds.
The CHIPS compounds. The CHIPS compounds are manned by medical assistants, physician assistants, and all that. And the nurses, because they don't really do a lot of things in the CHIPS compound, you will need other forms of nurses. And the diploma nurses and the certificate nurses could go there. But we have to be able to train them and train them well. Because sometimes these days you go to hospital, the attitude of some of the nurses is really appalling.
Yeah.
The attitude of some of our nurses is really appalling. It seems they are not following what they have been taught, or they have not been taught. Those are the things, because we have so many private nursing institutions. I don't know how they regulate them. I don't know how they supervise them. But some of the nurses that we have coming to this country, the ones we face every time that we go to the hospital, sometimes they fall short of what is expected of them. So, well, 1,000, is it 15,000?
15,200.
15,200 votes for Baumia. Wrong number. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, because that's the whole thing. It's just a vote. Yeah. It's a vote buying something, and it's not going to work. I mean, you don't do that. You don't even have money. You don't even have money to feed senior high school students. You don't have money to do our roads. You don't have money to give us basic health care. How many hospitals have you really built and equipped to put these nurses in? That's another question. And all you start doing is, they have to go. Where were you all these years? 7 years. You've made them to sit at home, some of them. About 3 batches. They've sat at home. And you are now saying it. Let them go. Okay, we are waiting to see, but definitely, this is wrong number.
Right.
Wrong number.
Right.
Yes, so yes, I share the views of my senior comrade. 15,000. Look, for the last 3 years, you could have decided that maybe you needed 4,000, they go. You needed 5,000, you go. You scatter the numbers, at least every year you are recruiting. But you wait and pile the numbers together and say that you are letting 15,000 people. No, it is not done. Every year we have nurses who also go on retirement. I was expecting that at least we should be having this data. Instead of this year, maybe 700 or 1,500 nurses have gone on retirement. We replace them immediately. Yeah. We don't do this. We wait, compare the numbers, and in election year, about 4 months of election, you come and tell us that you've done 15,000. You've done nothing. Now, with this issue about nurses and doctors, in 2022, I was just reading a World Bank report that one doctor is to about 1,000 patients in Ghana. We've trained, the state have spent a lot of money in training very good doctors, and we lose them.
Some sitting at home.
Well, some are also sitting at home, and we also lose them to the foreign market. And it is not easy training a doctor. I think it's about a 7 or 8 years course. So after all these years they spend in school, the person comes out, he sits in the house, or the person comes out, he works for about 2 years and he runs to Europe. No, we should have to have a holistic look at our system again. We are missing the point. Seriously, when it comes to the nurses, the same thing. Now all the experienced hands who have been in the system for about 5 to 10 years, they are gone. All the experienced hands. So you go to the hospital, you see some small nurse. Sometimes they even want to give you injection, you don't want to agree because sometimes they will give you injection or even drip, then you have swollen arm. I don't know if that's happened to you before. They will give you a drip or even have to find a vein.
Yeah.
It's a problem to them.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's a problem.
It's true.
Sometimes the matron will have to come. So these are some of the things. It's about experience because it's a practical thing. The more you do it, the more you are good at it. So when you have somebody in the system for about 5-10 years and the person leaves to Europe, the state we've lost big time.
Big time.
Big time. So we are saying that, look, there should be a mechanism. You see, this country, because we don't plan, we do things anyhow. We don't have how to plan when it comes to our health sector, how to recruit people, how to maintain them. Because in health, how to retain the professionals is very important. How do you retain them? What are some of the packages we can give them so that they can, stay here in Ghana and work with happiness? But we don't. You see? So when they compare their salaries they get here, they will tell you about 5 days in Europe or a week in Europe is far better than a man's salary here.
Yeah.
By 5, and the difference is huge. And when they tell you the figures, bless, no matter who you are, if you're a new nurse or a doctor,
you'll be
of course.
Yes.
And they'll spend, and they don't care spending about $10,000 traveling.
Yeah.
Because they know that within 3-4 months, they'll recoup that money.
Yeah.
You understand? So we are missing the point big time. And I believe that this is a time stakeholder we should sit around the table. But unfortunately, our people don't listen. They don't listen. The elephant, the umbrella, they don't listen. We have been telling them that a country who doesn't plan is bound to fail. And they will not listen. And that is why we have failed all these years. And they are still preaching that they want to be in power. We will also not allow them. But, bless, more importantly, we have a situation where you have people who have completed SS secondary school. They want to be nurses. Not because of the passion. And I've seen that. Well, what do you want to do? I want to be a nurse. You ask them why. Oh, and the Benyan Jumanten. So it is not about the passion. That is why you go to the hospital. Yeah. Some of them will give you some awkward behavior and attitudes you will never understand. There's no love for the occupation. No.
The job.
Yeah. Because they feel that is the only avenue for ready market where you will get a job quickly. So you go to the public hospitals and nurses, some of them will be on their phones, pressing their phones whilst attending to you.
Attitude.
You see? And if you're also somebody vocal, you also approach them, they become something else. They'll retaliate. And as if they are doing you a favor, so you have to shut up and just, suffer. No. But when you go to the private facility, you will see the discipline.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the same nurse who will go to part-time in the private facility, you will see the difference.
Mindset change.
Yes. Why? Because of supervision. And we have very senior matrons at this public hospital. I don't know how they are training these young nurses and doctors. How? Because you go there, the rate of indiscipline, and they kill people all the time.
Oh, and they don't care.
They kill people, wrong prescriptions.
Yeah,
it's normal.
And sometimes doctor will even give a prescription, even how to even take that kind of prescription. They will take a wrong one and come and inject you. So they kill people all the time. And we all let it go. And for us, I think losing a human life should be something, when it happens in the hospital, should be well investigated. People die and people say, oh, they have no.
Look at what happened recently about the patient that
was left in the case.
Yes.
Can you imagine? What is happening?
That is the
What is happening?
Mass production.
Yeah. Mass production,
mass production. And we are mass producing
without quality.
Without quality.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we can sit back and say that we've been able to put 1,000.
I'm so, you see, when it comes to education, your system, what you people, the seniors went through.
Yeah.
We completed school, maybe even in the 2000s, we feel that you are better than us.
Of course, we are better than you. We are better than you.
Yeah. Yes. You miss out the old timers, A-level certificate holder. If you listen to them and the kind of writings they write, you tell yourself that, no, what kind of education did they have at that time?
The curriculum.
That we didn't benefit from.
The curriculum. You came changing the curriculum. Everything you change. Yeah, they change everything.
Even now, progress worse.
And even we need to now we feel we are far better.
Now progress worse. This current AI generation.
Oh, we are far better. They cannot even write essays.
No.
I'm telling you, you tell them to write an essay about themselves.
This current one here.
Essay or a letter. You marvel. They can write.
They can.
So you ask, how did you pass? Some of them will get 4 A's, 5 A's.
8 A's.
But when you give them simple things, they cannot do it.
write anything.
Yeah.
Propose that they can't do.
And the same with those who are going to the nursing schools.
Yeah.
So report writing, they can't write reports.
They can't do anything. Summarize. I gave a paper to someone. Going to the I said, summarize this for me. I came and met it.
Sure.
I don't understand.
So what are we doing to ourselves? Look, we should bow our heads down in shame, especially the elephant in the umbrella. Since 1992, they cost us big time. And Honorable should accept that fact. And know that, look, Ghana, for us to move forward, as he's rightly stated, that protest should be in December 7th. But December 7th protest is the total rejection of the NDC and the MPP. That is the only protest we understand. Any other protest is a fake protest. Over to you.
We are going with Alan.
Oh, my you senior
Butterfly.
Alan cannot.
Going with
He cannot exclude himself from this mess.
Right.
In fact, he was part of this mess for 7 years.
Our leader was part of UGCC. Who's the same?
No, but they were not in power. They were not in power when he left them. He was not in power when he left them.
Let's also permit
7.5 years we were with them.
Share his thoughts.
They are part of the
part of this people. You are part of this people.
I am excited this morning.
You have to.
I am excited because at least my answer, my good brother here, saying that they are disappointed in this government.
And the NDC as well.
Anytime I hear somebody say that, look at the NDC, MPP, look at the I say, this person is really disappointed in this current government. You know, certainly, yes, I'm coming. Certainly,
Yes.
we know under John Dramani Mahama that things were not all that good, but it was not as bad as we are witnessing now. Not as bad as we are witnessing now, especially when somebody is at fault, and still want to justify to prove to you that he's not at fault. When you know this person is behind all the hardship we are going through, you understand? And so for you people to say that NDC, MPP, we are the same, we are never the same. Under NDC, you never saw pressmen attack under NDC. Under NDC, what we are currently experiencing, the family and friends, state capture that we are witnessing, the corruption that is currently happening, the level of power arrogance that is currently happening, the dictatorship that we are currently witnessing under this government, it never happened under NDC. Please, I'm coming. John Dramani Mahama was a president who was ready to listen to the people and at all times owned all the things happening, that happened under his regime. And he would accept that indeed we're in hardship, and he was always available to tell the people of the country that ABCD is currently going on, and with time we'll be able to overcome the hardship. We are seeing a different thing altogether here. For you to sit even on national set to say that we are suffering, they send text messages to attack you. I just heard you mention butterfly. I believe if you have friends in MPP, you pick your phones and go through the kind of message that they would have sent to you, because you are criticizing them. It shouldn't be so. You just spoke about nursing recruitment. That's the topic we are discussing. It never happened like this under John Dramani Mahama. I am happy you brought the issue about mass production. The question is, do we really need all these numbers at the current moment?
I guess so.
You spoke about the passion, which is very, very important. It is critical in every aspect of profession. The passion to be a journalist. You would love to do it regardless whatever it comes with. The passion to be a teacher. You would love to teach, even if by the end of the month you are not even paid. You enjoy doing it. The passion to be the nurse. You will do it with all your heart because that is your passion. But if you create a system that people see it to be, that is the convenient way. The convenient way. That is why we are having issues like this today. When under John Dramani Mahama, he says that at the time nursing training allowances was introduced, they wanted people at that time to actually join the profession because we're not having the numbers. Yes, when the teacher training allowance was introduced, it was same. But we've gotten to a time that we have the numbers. Let us withdraw these allowances. Let people who really want to be nurses, people who want to be teachers, who love the passion, who love the profession, let them apply. And that time he opened it up. They said, John Mahama is insensitive. And that he canceled all the allowances and they would introduce the allowances. Today, you have introduced the allowances. You cannot even pay the allowances. And now, do you know what is currently happening? The worst thing that, look, Ghana, what is going to happen to us some few years to come is more dangerous than we are witnessing now. Why? Because even the people going to the nursing training colleges are people, one way or the other, who first of all do not have the passion, but because they have an uncle who can put them there. It's a political something. So people genuinely who even overqualified and have the passion to do the job, they cannot even get access to be admitted. And that is the dangerous thing. I am happy that you said that every year, not only every year, every day, nurses go on retirement. We can even be doing the recruitment every quarter. Every quarter wouldn't have been piling up to be recruiting about 15,000 just because there's an election at hand. We wouldn't have waited. You know, these people that they are recruiting, it is those who completed nursing training colleges in the year 2020. 4 years sitting at home. Look, you spoke about some of the attitude. I want to share my personal experience. Some of the attitude of our nurses. Of course, not all. Some.
They are very dedicated ones.
There's very dedicated ones who are very hardworking, very passionate, and in fact, their human relationship is very perfect. I was at one of the facilities. I don't want to mention name, but one of the biggest in Ghana. I had to rush my wife there in the night, around 10 to 11 p.m. Once at the facility, we had an emergency. I saw my wife in pain, and I was there with a colleague MP and some other people were there. At emergency, she was on wheelchair. I was running, trying to talk to them, to at least attend to her because this is an emergency and this person has been rushing. They didn't care. I was told to go and get a card. And I said, I thought this is an emergency. They attend to the person. When the person is down, you stable, then you do all this. You're asking me to leave the person on the wheelchair, go get the card.
That's what they do.
I did. I didn't complain. I was in the queue trying to get her registered. While she was on the wheelchair, went through pain, nobody attended to her. So I spoke to the gentleman on the counter that, so why are they doing that? Why is nobody attending to my wife? He said, oh, where are the nurses? I said, look at them. And he said, so he said I should go and talk to one of them. One after when she was on phone.
Yeah, on TikTok.
So I spoke to her quietly and she said, they will attend to her. I'm just quoting, they will attend to her. And she was on phone. So I stood there and I was boiling.
I asked, and she said, they were 20, and I said, madam, is this not emergency? He said, all the nurses are engaged. I came back.
And she's sitting down.
She was sitting there. So, in the end, then we got a bed for my wife. One nurse came, would ask one question, go inside the sitting room, come back and tell us that the doctor said there is. At the point I go and I said, look, who is that doctor in that room that is doing consulting from the room and cannot come? This is an emergency. Come to the patient. Yeah. If you can't move her, because this is somebody cannot, that we can't take her into the room, and the person is not coming out to attend to. I didn't even let them know I was a politician. Yes. I didn't want that. I don't like it. So I started texting. I started texting a friend who works at the facility. The person unfortunately was not on duty. And started, I don't know. I think the person sent a message, and I still have those messages. I sent a message to the person. I'm really disappointed that this is happening here and not at any other ward. The emergency. And the person said she was going to get in touch with those on duty. She checked. I don't know if they have a particular platform or somebody hinted them. Then, so I was so mad. One young lady walked up to me to greet me and apologize. And so I asked her, I just told her why she apologized. She said she was attending to somebody, but she saw how her colleague spoke to me and all of that. And she apologized and she attended to me nicely. So, in fact, in a few minutes' time, I think the person that I texted, I don't know if they have a common platform somewhere. The person probably sent a message that there's a politician in the immediate blah blah. They were around running helter skelter. So I told them that this thing is acting. I don't like it. Don't give it that. Don't assuming. So don't wait till you get to know who the person is before you do this. I don't like it. Yeah. And so it all boils down to the passion that we are talking about.
They don't have a passion for the job.
It all boils down to the passion we're talking about. If
mass producing
people who are into the profession really love it, they will do it regardless, whatever benefit it comes with. But today, I don't blame them too.
Yes, we shouldn't.
I blame the leaders also. Yeah. If we create an enabling employment opportunity for people, environment for people to get decent jobs. Somebody would not just get up and say, because I know when I go to university and do political science, by the end of the day, it will be tough for me to get a job. But when I get to nursing training college, I know one day, I'll be posted. So this is the mentality. Yeah. And so I think that as a country, we need to revisit the table, to sit down and really look at the numbers, the policy direction. But what we normally do in this country, especially this particular government, it is about how to win power. They don't care. There's no any direction. It is about how to win power. That is why you are seeing all this 15,000. If not, we used to recruit nurses 8 years, 7 years, 10 years ago. Nurses were always being recruited. I've never seen it published on daily stating the numbers. And that nobody should pay money. You see, the most hypocrite thing about this publication is that when they say nobody should pay money, go out there and ask the ordinary people.
Oh, they'll be paying.
Oh, they'll pay. Look, they said there are 15,000 vacancies. For you not to be posted to my community, Sisala West Ngulu, or Fielmo, Sobale or Javia, you must go and see somebody and pay. For you not to be posted to any other, maybe somewhere that there's no network, you must see some. It shouldn't be so. And for me, I like that. Look, yes, I'm coming. My constituency, let me use this opportunity to thank all the health workers in Sisala West. In fact, even though there are a lot of challenges when it comes to what they need as health workers to work, they don't have it. Yet the people, out of passion and the love for humanity, they chose to stay in our community, to stay with us. And they are always, I've never heard any complaint, somebody being disrespected. This is the passion we're talking about. And anytime I have the opportunity to meet with them, I always thank them. First of all, I want to thank you for first even accepting to be here.
Yeah.
That alone.
I know Golu is a very fast.
Yes, that alone, I appreciate it. Very, very appreciate it. And I want to thank them. And I shouldn't thank them. I'm thanking them. They are doing job. From the health director, the medical doctor, the only medical doctor we have in the district like Sisalawe, one medical doctor. The whole district.
Just one.
The whole district, one medical doctor. Last week, I was on phone with the health director. I called him, he couldn't pick. In the night, he called me back and said, Honorable, we have a challenge. I said, what is the issue? He himself is a trained medical doctor. He says that the medical doctor is currently on leave 2 weeks to attend to family issues. And there are cases. So as the district health director, he had to, step in for the medical director. Performing,
What's the population of the district?
We are many. In terms of geographical, you have been to Sisala West.
Yeah, I've been to
Our photo places are about 42,000.
So one to 42,000.
42. No, that's voter population. We are about.
Yes, that's
2020. I think 2021 population census. We are about 77,000 to 80,000.
So
from one end to the other one, you will travel almost like 1 hour 30 minutes. When you are from Silvale to Fialmo, 1 hour 30 minutes. And so we have one district. The district also to my brother. So when we speak, people say we always engage in politics. I know the district is young, but the town Gulu is an old town.
Yes.
The whole place is an So I just want to thank them. They should continue to be with us and continue to discharge their duties as they are always. We appreciate them, all the health workers, those from the shift compounds to the district hospital. And so back to the 15,000. This is just a vote buy mechanism. See, at our campaign launch, we spoke about the fact that currently they are into several recruitment security agencies. As an MP, every day I receive calls. People asking you, and I said, if there is any protocol, honestly, I am not aware of it. In fact, I am not. No, how can you say that they gave all of us? No, please. No, it is not true. Don't put. No, you saw that NDC organized a press conference. You saw that our minority leader, Ato Forson, was the first person to break the.
NDC on the other side said people were being dishonest.
We dare to mention the names. We dare to mention that he's not nobody in NDC. I am speaking as a member of parliament for the good people of Sasal. Nobody in NDC, not even a single slot. We believe that is not how recruitment is done. But over the years, we never did that. So NDC, we never did that. Please. This has please.
Since 92.
It is my time. When you get a time, you can remember. But I am at this man. No, I didn't take all the time. But
on this topic, yes, taking more of the time.
But you've been encouraging. You've been backing him.
You've been backing him. This time, I saw people who were at recruitment centers, who were being vetted, who went through the right processes, who were called based on the application to go for medicals before appointment letters were issued to them to attend the trainings that they went through. Today, you are not seeing that. People handpick people from there. You will be at the farm. Somebody will be at the market square because you have an influential person who is part of this government. Will say that, okay, I'm fixing you here. Wait, you receive a call. They'll call you to come for trade. This is what we are talking about. And we condemn it, and so we will not encourage it. That is why our minority leader came out. No, we didn't do it. The minority leader stated clearly in his press release, he even addressed press on that, that this is what the majority has engaged. Slot 30 per each parliamentary candidate. All their parliamentary candidates. 30 slots.
So 30 times 138.
But must concede that today the elephant has taken it to another level. But it was something that has been there.
It wasn't, it always no. I know. Sincerely. It has been there. Just that now, your uncle was part of NDC government. Your uncle was part of NDC. Now it's serious. I'm coming. His uncle was part of NDC government. I want to find out how many people did your uncle recruit?
So So how many people?
Let's agree that this is not a new phenomenon.
It is not a new phenomenon. Our friend is just that it is worse now. Now, I want Madam to say it is worse now. It is worse now. Now it is impossible to go through the process and not know somebody and get it. It is not possible.
This is what we're talking about.
It is not possible. It is not possible.
For that one, you see. Also concede on what we are saying.
I mean, you could go through the process and then you may get it. But
yes, please. You take on.
So concede that it was there.
No, please.
Nobody's been there.
Concede has been there since a
That is a good.
No, that is even encouraging more people to be there. What we are saying is this. If out of 100%, you give 90% opportunities to the masses. Let people who will
we're giving like 40%, 30%.
No, we're not doing that.
But this is like 95%.
Let me tell you, 5%. No, to be honest, I have colleagues in Parliament. When NDC was in power, I was not a member of Parliament, but I have colleagues who will tell you that what is currently happening during their time when we were in power, when they were in Parliament, nobody, but I know people will defuse, but to be honest, they are listening to us, they are watching us. They will tell you that there was never a recruitment that they would tell them that as members of Parliament, probably if you have a good relationship with whoever the minister is or the IGP, you could go and also say that I am bringing you 2 people, please help them for me. But for them to just say that we are sharing, and to know that bring this number of people, bring this number, no. But this is what currently is happening. In fact, it is even taken by the general secretary of the ruling party. There's general secretary, just a lawyer justice. Kudu, right? He was in charge of the sharing.
Distribution.
All the parliamentary candidates. Bring this number of people. They will send you.
That is wrong.
Not members of parliament, parliamentary candidates. And I know some.
I know 276.
Yes,
parliamentary candidates.
So not MPs, parliamentary candidates.
No MPs, parliamentary
So in
candidates.
effect, over the 7 years that they've been in government, everybody that has been employed, probably in police or SEPs or whatever, has to come from within them.
Precisely.
Which is
Maybe
wrong.
over 90% are their own
It's wrong. It's totally wrong.
Which are political colors.
That's the state capture we are talking about.
And so that is why you and you and my brother here, after all, this is your butterfly thing you are talking about.
It will shock you.
It
will shock you.
So I am saying that please
That's
join
my
us.
butterfly.
Please join us for us.
But there's a no.
For us, please, for us to reset this country.
We are resetting. You cannot reset.
And this is a good direction for us.
His Excellency,
You cannot
former
reset.
president said we should reset.
You
I don't
cannot.
think, my brother, I don't think
You cannot reset.
Just a follow-up. I don't think we
You
need a
cannot
reset.
reset.
We don't need a reset. We need total formatting. But when you reset,
A total revolutionary change.
when you reset a computer,
Governance.
the viruses are still on it, like the Trojan horse. But when you format,
Everything is clear.
Formatting in Ghana is a total rejection of NDC.
Right. I'm reading messages. Not reset. Let me take this one.
But when we format law of it cannot be the solution. Because the person leading the movement is part of the mess.
Right. Thank you.
For 7 years.
4 months.
7 years. Part of the mess.
Let the viewers also have their chance.
My father's house.
Let's-
They're still trying to get
24
Let's
the next president of the Republic.
right. Let the viewers also get their chance. I'm reading messages. Good morning, Bless. We can't be convinced that there is no political agenda. Bless. It's not only nurses and midwives. YE and National Service Authority have opened portals to recruit people. Bless. I hope you remember the implementation of the single spine salary. They will employ them for the NDC to come and pay because in 4 months their input would not have been done. That is true. So this is going to be a problem for the next government.
Yeah, well.
So
That is if the next government wants to take it as a problem.
well.
Yes.
No, it's going to be a problem to them because they have said that.
How many times have they?
Or they will say that we've recruited you. Now it is the burden.
Before you go into the system, they'll do all the formalities.
Exactly. That'll be next year, and they may not be in government.
It will take us maybe another year for Fanto to look through and see those who really qualify.
Right. The NPP should not waste their energies. They are already in opposition. Stephen Penn from WA sent this one. Thank you, Stephen. Good morning to the good people of WA, and thank you so much for always doing the watching. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Interesting times we live in this country, but wonders shall never end. Ministry of Health to recruit 15,200 nurses. My brother, there's nothing but a political tool for vote buying in 2024 elections. But my brother, I can assure you that this plan will fail big time. They should stop insulting our intelligence and credit us with a little respect we deserve in this country. Are you aware the 2021, 2022, 2023 batch of trainee nurses are still at home without employment? What has the government done about it? No wonder Honorable Kweku Kwatin says this government is managing the economy like a Ponzi scheme. They are full of scammers and they cannot be trusted. Thank you, Alhaji Hamza. Good morning to you. Many thanks for always doing the watching. Good morning, Bless. Our youth are very desperate for jobs, and MPP government is taking advantage of the situation for them to vote for the MPP. Remember what happened during COVID-19, how they treated the people of Ghana, promised them free water and electricity, and after this they said we should pay for it. This government is a scam. Isaac from Cape Coast North. Thank you, Isaac, for your message. This one here says, my name is Abraham Kachekpo from Mankasim. Nobody should come there and compare NDC and MPP. They can't be one, and there's a huge difference between them. In MPP, we have a flag bearer who is always lying about not saying the truth, but in NDC, we have a flag bearer who is always saying the truth. All right, thank you so much, Abraham, for your message, and good morning to the people of Infantimaun West, specifically the people of Mankasim. To be honest with you, JM could only succeed as a second-term president if he could be strict and objective, because most of the people following him are only praying for a win so that they can retrieve the money they used in sponsoring him. Okay, you didn't tell me your name and where you sent the message from. Thank you so much, by the way. This one here says, good morning to you and your distinguished panelists. The immediate recruitment of nurses into various health institutions is completely a vote-buying gimmick that is intended to hoodwink the suffering Ghanaian electorate into thinking that this garrulous government is much concerned about the health needs of the Ghanaian people. These nurses are sitting in the house, or have been sitting in the house all this while. They couldn't employ them, and now that we are 4 months to elections, they are quickly employing nurses. Come what may, we shall vote out this nepotistic and nefarious people in the corridors of power, milking dry our public purse with utter impunity. Written by Ernest Evalaf Kwashi from Dansoman. Good morning, Ernest, and you are one of our ardent viewers. Thank you so much for always having our time. Good morning, host. I'm begging you to take this issue because some of us are voiceless. They are only posting one batch, which is 2020, but we have 2021 and 2022, please. But what annoys some of us is this doesn't happen in the teaching field. Another one is if you are ready to pay 9,000 cedis, you'll be posted, meaning the room is there for posting, but they just want to keep we the vulnerable at home. Interesting.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Interesting. Interesting.
It's about money.
Okay.
Interesting. Now I'll read a final message. Nurses deal with human lives, and these nurses have been in the house for 4 years and even more. So I think they need some orientation before they go to the various health facilities to handle human lives, because they have lost the practice aspect of the profession. Fatima from Inswatrim. Okay, thank you, Fatima, for your message. Would do our last topic for conversation. We do not have so much time. Some 4 minutes each, I think, would do. It's got to do with the Agyapa document.
Let me just say one thing.
I know. I'm sure. I know.
I'm just saying that, you see, this government has to be very careful. In the sense that if they think that they're going to do all these things to push Baumia on us, it's not going to happen. Something is happening in Venezuela as we speak.
Yes.
The president has won. He claims he has won. And the whole country is on the streets saying that they need a change, and they don't believe that they voted for him. And therefore, they should go back to the ballot box and count again. You understand? They reject him, and they reject him totally. So these are some of the things that are going to happen. You cannot do that, you know.
Do you know that? I mean, not to catch you. Do you know that? Interestingly, we are covering the Venezuelan election. Do you know that we have a correspondent in Venezuela?
Very good.
So, really?
Makiza is in Venezuela as we speak.
Well, really?
Venezuelans are very angry.
Makiza has been in Venezuela, I think, since since Thursday, Wednesday.
That's good. That's good. Yes, I was listening to it on BBC.
She's been.
And she's been telling you about what is happening.
With updates.
I see.
You know, about what is happening. And their situation is just like us. You know, bad governance. And they want change. So you can't tell us that you have won when they know that you have not. That's what's going to happen. So definite change will have to come.
But I'm still beginning with you on the issue of Agyapa. And then the fact that the Ochehene has come out to say that, look, the Ochiman has been ever relevant, and they didn't need this government to make it relevant. And
really,
everything about this whole Agyapa document should be rebuffed. But before the show, you were saying that it appears that this is a reality, because everything in the document,
that is in the document has played itself out. You understand? Everything. Look, a president takes over. The first thing he says is, "I'm going to build a new Ghana." And that new Ghana means that certain facilities have got to be rebuilt. So we have a new Bank of Ghana being built. We have this, we have that. We have Enterprise taking over state insurance, which was brought by Nkrumah. We have all sorts of things being changed just to satisfy one family. You understand? They have tried as much as possible to sell Dankwa. He's not selling. He's spent what he's not selling. You understand? Dankwa. You know, he's not selling. You can take him anywhere. You can polish him up. You can put gold all over him. He's just not selling. Because truth is there. History is such that if you think that you can rewrite history, other people have also written their side of the story. We all know. You understand? As I sit here, you cannot come and rewrite the story of J.J. Rawlings, because I was an adult when JJ came into power, so I can also say something. You understand? So Agyapa or Agyapa, the part that freaks me is the fact that it says, to our future made what? To our future made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will is being prepared.
Will.
A will. Which is the Agyapa, they will the country. Yes, we will the country to them, so it's become Agyapa, you know, for you to state capture, take everything. How can a whole group be so greedy? How can you be so greedy? It's just, look, everything that is in that book is a fact. It has happened, names have been mentioned, and things have happened, and we have seen. But the one thing that is not going to happen is that northern plant, that northern person that they are going to plant in there so that they can continue the agenda of the state capture is not going to happen. Baumia will definitely not be president. And if they think that they are going to take it by force, they should just be aware of the fact that Ghanaians are actually ready to face them with that. Because we are not going to be saddled with somebody that we did not vote for. That's something that's not going to happen. We cannot sit down for you to take everything. You take in the mines, the Galamsey, we've seen that. It is something that was in the Agyapa book. So Galamsey is made up of you people. We've seen you wanting, even at the very beginning, wanting to sell our airports. If we hadn't put our foot down, Accra Airport would have gone for sale. Don't go me. So now it's been given to a crony. One part of it given to a crony to have a private tarmac. We can't talk. Everything that is in the Agyapa book.
Is that the president's daughter?
No.
Not that one. She also has.
No, she also has. She has shops in the district. But Madan has a terminal, a private terminal. You know,
the previous domestic.
Exactly.
Terminal,
you know, so it's friends and cronies and family members. Everybody is taking part. It's Ghana just been put there, and everybody is carving. And I sometimes shudder as an Nkrumah to think of what would have happened if Kwame Nkrumah had said that he owned Akosombo, he owned Tema. Township. He owned. You understand? Because these were things that Kwame Nkrumah could have done. He could have said, Obuasi Goldfields, it's mine. The manganese, everywhere. Kwame Nkrumah would have owned it.
And all the numerous factories.
And all the numerous factories.
The secondary schools,
everything.
KNUST.
Kwame Nkrumah, you know, to the extent that somebody, an education minister, would go and want to paint schools built by the MPP in MPP colors, blue and white or whatever it is. You know, it's so outrageous. You know, you just ask yourself, what is wrong? You understand? What is wrong with these people? Why are you so possessed with wanting to own Ghana? You can't do that. So if we sit down, we are the people who are going to have to let it happen. And we are saying, no, this is not going to happen. Agyapa document or whatever it is real. It is not a fiction. It is not by the figment of somebody's imagination. It is something that people sat and wrote. And we are not going to take the Ochehene seriously because it's a benefactor of that. Isn't he benefiting from it? Everything that is there is something that he's benefiting from. So we cannot say that the Agyapa book or whatever it is fiction.
Right.
Or it is not real.
Right.
It is real.
Right. You remember?
Well said by my senior, Charlie. In fact, the first time I read excerpts of that document, it cannot just be fiction or I don't know, because it has played out. And they took characters one after the other and explained. They took characters like even Kennedy Japan. Say, yes, this guy is a loudmouth. He has a deep pocket. Yes, we have to manage him. But going into the future, we have to find a way to disgrace him. Then they pick other characters as well. So it was a well-orchestrated thing that people sat in a room for maybe months and years to plan. And taking over the economy. They've taken over the banking sector. They've taken it over completely.
Smith.
Oh, they've taken over all strategic investments. All the strategic investment in this country is in their hands now. So if we don't have a very bold government, come January, to be able to attack them and able to take these things out of their hands, we are in trouble as a country. Because to get somewhere, they will dictate the pace of the economy. And that's a very dangerous thing. And I believe that, look, moving forward, this should be a lesson to the political class. And the people and the youth of this country feel that there's no hope in this country. They've lost hope. That is why when you go to these traffic lights here, the Canadian, when they do the application for a Canadian visa, the place is always packed. Every day, we are losing a lot of our youth. They are going out. And those who cannot go out are also here planning to say that, look, what can we do? The next thing for them to do, when they feel frustrated, is for them to attack the political class. Because as it stands now, they feel there's no hope for them. For them, the future is very bleak. And for me, this is a national security threat. It is because of the actions and the inactions of those in power, it has made all we politicians a target. And they feel that we are people or a group of people who never say the truth. It's unfortunate because of the actions and inactions of a particular group. Just a small group. Now all politicians are being tagged that you kind of create, we are this, we are that. It's unfortunate. That is it. It won't happen.
Just like,
precisely.
because of MPP.
Well, because of MPP. And also because of the NDC as well. No, you see, the issue is that the MPP has taken things to a different level. So my fear is that if the NDC can
carving out Ghana Airways.
Yes.
We left to a very healthy Ghana Airways.
In fact, this state's divestiture.
All this divestiture was you.
You sold all the factories in your promise.
Exactly. If those factories were
you people have to repent.
We have only been.
NDC sold it to Acronis.
Of course you did.
The factories.
Itimen's wife took all of the fishing, state fishing, cold rooms. Yes.
You see?
The man is late.
Oh, so late. Go and ask.
Everybody knows.
Ajinasari has got a church.
A church. That church was a CMC.
Look, there are so many. Don't let us go there.
Okay. Is he a politician?
Is it
at that time. Everybody knew what allegations were.
A politician.
Yes. So I'm concluding.
Is Ajinasari a politician?
He's a crony at that time.
Honorable, I'm going to conclude with a quote from the great Osagifo himself. Let's listen to this quote. In fact, Honorable, you almost said something similar to what Nkrumah quoted. He said, Ghanaians are not timid people. It has never been suggested in the foreign press. Far from it. They may be slow to anger and may take time to organize and act. But once they are ready, they strike and strike hard. It pays no one to tamper with the Ghanaian freedom and dignity.
Thank you very much.
And we are going to strike them hard.
Right.
The elephant and the umbrella come December 7. Very, very, very hard.
You see,
Black Star
when you say you are going to strike them hard, let's be realistic.
Hotel.
One thing I like your submission is that at least you admitted that
guest house.
You admitted that between NDC and NPP, NPP is West. You use the word West, which I am.
Well, lesser evil. Well,
that's
but the value is the same. Small evil, big evil. They are evil.
How can that? You mentioned all the things you mentioned about Nkrumah.
Yes.
I can sit here. Yes, for the past 8 years, NDC was in power from the Mills Mahama administration.
Yes,
I can mention several other things. No, I can start from Rollins.
No, even if you start from there, still,
I'm going to share. I just want you to know. You cannot say that NDC and NPP are the same. NDC time, you never saw a document like Agyapa there you are discussing. NDC time, there was not any group anywhere that sat together, plan of capturing the banking sector, plan of capturing the insurance sector, plan of taking over all the national resources. It never happened in NDC time. In fact, all business class in this country during Mahama time never experienced the kind of frustration they are experiencing now. And so it is not true for us to sit on national set. And then when we are talking about the hardship, the level of corruption, the arrogance of this particular government, the state capture, let us not even try to say that NDC was also engaged in saying, I am saying that at least our time, businesses, in terms of procurement processes, you never saw what we are experiencing now. Like the sole sourcing. No, I'm coming. You never saw where we are. Please, I'm coming. You never saw what we are experiencing now. At least during under Mahama, UGMC hospital was built. I'm happy you mentioned Bank of Ghana's hospital when you go to is it Laboni. When you go to Boga, the regional Upper East Regional Hospital was upgraded. You go to Wa, Upper West Regional Hospital was built. You go to many other places, district hospitals were built across the length and breadth of this country. Today, can we talk about same? I am happy in the previous topic, when we're discussing the nurses. My auntie said that even we do not even have the hospitals because, and it is true. So let's speak to the issues. You cannot compare this. Look, this particular government is running this country like a monarchy. Exactly. So that is how come you would see them decided to put together something like Agyapa, how to capture every aspect of this economy, so that as time to come, they would even dictate to the people of this country who should rule this country, because they have the resources. As time to come, that is why they spoke about characters in the book, like Honorable Kennedy Agyapa. They spoke about how to tame him. He has a very big pocket, and with time, how they are going to cut him off. You understand? So this is, you cannot compare such people to NDC. No, and so for me, please, I'm coming. Please, when we're talking, for me, let me, I will dash it to you. Don't worry. For me, the current government is no near. Well, I know all of us are frustrated, but in expressing our frustration, let us not say that NDC and NPP are the same. Let's speak to the fact that this current government, not even in President Kufuor's era, have we experienced what we are experiencing now. Not even in President Kufuor's era, that journalists, not even President Rawlings's time, that journalists are being treated the way they are being treated today. You cannot today, look at what happened to what is my brother Manasseh.
Even how much is Ford? Ford, what was the name of that car? Ford Explorer. But Manasseh wrote an article. He made several. He even won, awards on that. How can you even say president that controls all the resources in the country? You said that president was being bribed with the Ford Explorer. Yet nobody touched Manasseh. Today, can you sit on national set, or can you even write something about this government? When he tries it in their first time, Manasseh had to use Burkina Faso to travel to South Africa. He had to use Burkina Faso. My constituency is Sisala West. He had to sneak out through Sisala West to Burkina Faso to be able to run away to South Africa. He was being wanted by national security people. So this is what we're talking about. At least let us appreciate the good leadership of His Excellency John Dramani. You cannot compare John Mahama administration to Nana Bawumia's. But I'm happy that I'm concluding that my auntie said that. She says that the extension of Nana Ado's government is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and that is all they are busily trying to prosecute, which has failed already.
Thank you
the
very
people
much.
of this country are very well decided. They know very well that a vote for Bawumia is a vote for Nana Akufo-Addo, an extension of Nana Akufo-Addo and his cronies.
We cannot trust the NDC change. That is our problem. We all want change, but give us a time.
In 2020, in 2025,
we want change.
All the things you want.
You don't believe in your change.
You want change, but you don't believe in your change.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Yiribabo. Thank you, Madam Ayana. Thank you, Honorable Suparu. Please, I'm still selling my book. Everybody here is an Nkrumahist, so each one of them is going to buy. But I think, yes, she already has bought one. It is 1,500 CDs. It's a book authored by Dr. E.G.A. Don Arthur. If you want to know a comprehensive history about Ghana's history journey to self-government and independence, this is the first volume. I think it was launched 2 weeks ago, and this is a book that Kwesi Pratt himself has endorsed. Alan actually purchased the copy for 10,000 when it was launched as well. And so for all Nkrumahist and those of you who want to know about Ghana, please send me a text message. I beg you, display my number on the screen there. The text line, my text line, 0243 526 996. 0243 526 996. If you want a copy, make sure you send me a WhatsApp message. Let's talk about it. Wherever you are in the country, I'll ensure that it is delivered to you. It is 1,500. 1,500. Last will be sending me 150 cedis. 1,500. I know it's quite pricey, but of course, knowledge is also power. And if you want to drink from the Pyran springs of knowledge, this is the book for you. 1,005. Send me a message, 0243 526 996. 0243 526 996. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And thank you to my cherished and revered panelists, and to you at home for doing the watching. I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Truly African.